guys, Miss Nasuku here, and we are back with reading My Fanfiction. Yay! Anyway, let's just go right into it. Growing up. Author note, I'd like to thank you all for still reading and reviewing my story. Wow, I didn't think this fic was going to be so popular. Me neither. Anyway, here's a little chappy for you guys. I thought the family might need a little bit of bonding and family time, considering they're too distant in this story. Chapter 6, got a secret, gotta keep it. Funny enough, I didn't even watch Pretty Little Liars when I did that title thing. It doesn't make sense, but whatever. Guess. Oh, this is still me talking about the people that were commenting. Also, I'd like to thank guests for letting me know to rename my title for Chapter 2. I didn't know it was all bundled up until she told me. Honestly, I blame the internet. Nice. Also, Clara, I don't plan on disowning Catherine in this fanfic. Her parents love her. I love all their 3 children too much to want them off the family tree. Plus, it's 2009 in this story. However, they won't be exactly thrilled about the news either. Other guests. I agree with you. I've been secretly shipping Catherine since season 2, and still sorta am to this day. But I surely never admit to my mother of my forbidden ship until she birthly mentions it somehow. I think I meant briefly. Smile sheepishly. However, I'm not really into Delana that much. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm no Delana hater or shipper. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't, but most of the time they annoy me. Either way, I don't dare get caught up in that couple. I just feel Elena changes Damon too much on the show. Let's just say he wasn't exactly the Damon I knew from season 1, 2, and 3 and season 4. But that's my opinion. Anyway, enjoy the fanfic. Smiley face. Alright, let's go. Got a secret, gotta keep it. Catherine. I've already forgotten the voices again. A week has passed and I was starting to grow a bump. It wasn't noticeable though, thank God. But I knew I couldn't wear tank tops anymore without risk of secret getting out early. The risk of the secret getting out early. I knew that was wrong. Stefan, on the other hand, as promised, had stayed supportive of me. He even helped me cover for me at school when I wanted to vomit. I have to say this whole pregnancy nausea thing was a complete bitch. So far, the only people that knew about my pregnancy was Stefan, Caroline, and now Lexi and me. Everybody else was pretty oblivious of what was going on with me. But could you really blame them? I was, after all, a pretty good actress when it came to lying. At this rate, I should definitely be on that TV show The Lying Game. Oh, The Lying Game. I remember when I first saw that. Fucking piece of shit. Really? He got canceled after 2 seasons? Ugh. Sure is something, alright. Anyway, moving on. I soon met up with Stefan on the Wickery Bridge. I always hated this bridge for almost killing me at one point, but it's really not worth mentioning at the moment. I left my car unattended, but hidden well from any person who had the guts to steal it. I went into Stefan's Porsche. We made up a plan 2 days ago that Caroline would buy me some clothes while Stefan and I went to the hospital out of town, and by the time we get back, I'll just pick up the clothes that Caroline purchased for me and go home, letting my family think I really went out shopping. Hopefully, Caroline knew my taste in fashion, or else things would get ugly real fast. We drove in silence the whole way. I listened to the radio and changed the stations a bit briefly. Stefan didn't say a word and kept his eyes on the road. I guess he didn't mind. After what seemed like forever, which it sort of was, we were at a hospital outside of Mystic Falls. It was a long ride, but it didn't risk exposure of suspicion to anyone. The Gilbert and Salvatore names were one of the wealthiest of the founding families. Everyone knew about us, and knew who was part of the family or not. If we went to the Mystic Falls hospital, they'd immediately tell our parents, blowing our cover completely. At least here, nobody didn't know who the founding families even were, nor did they care. Nobody didn't know. That's like a double negative. You mean nobody knew? Okay. After entering the hospital, the nurse gave me an application to fill out before making an appointment. I soon started out. First name? I thought over briefly and thought, what was the point of lying? Besides, they didn't know who I am anyway. They think I'm just some ordinary pregnant 17-year-old girl that they probably see come to deliver children in their hospital almost every day. Catherine K. Q. Gilbert was what I wrote. First pregnancy? Yep, I wrote. Eventually the rest became a blur. When I finished filling it, I gave it to the nurse and had set up my appointment. I couldn't help but notice this nurse sort of resembled the one on Teen Wolf who plays Scott's mother. She even had a similar personality to her, even though she was in work mode at the moment. "Miss Gilbert, your 5 o'clock is here," the nurse shouted out to gain my attention. Her name was Abby. I soon sighed. My hands were all sweaty and shaking like crazy. I soon felt a warm hand grab a hold of my hand and held it delicately to calm me down, or clam me down. He even gave a reassuring squeeze as well. "Stefan?" I started out barely above the whisper. My voice was small, and I practically sounded like a little girl who was afraid of the dark. Hey, it's gonna be okay. You'll be fine. I'll be right behind you," Stefan whispered to me nice and softly. For a moment there, I actually felt like an innocent, scared little girl. I soon sighed and nodded my head shortly, gaining my confidence back. We both got up and followed the nurse into a dark, unknown room. I could barely see. Soon somebody, the nurse I'm assuming, had turned on a lamp to give up a not-so-dim light to let us see a bit. After changing into a hospital gown Abby gave me earlier, which I still look pretty hot in, just putting that out there, I sat on the exam table and slowly laid my body down on it. Abby soon placed some of that weird clear gel on my stomach. I still have no idea what that gel is called. For some reason, I felt like I was being poked in a very uncomfortable place for a bit. I flinched slightly. "Don't worry, you're okay," Abby assured me. Stefan caressed my hand in a relaxing way and gave it another squeeze. I smiled slightly after what seemed like 30 minutes. We soon saw our ultrasound video on the large TV screen. It was kind of hard to make out. Make out or make it out? Learn English. Learn your grammar. Your English grammar, goddammit. Old me. Stefan and I both had to squint our eyes and cock our head back and forth trying to find the baby in there. It took a moment, but we sort of found him or her. "That's your baby," the nurse told me. I nodded at what she said. I looked up at Stefan slightly and said out of Abby's earshot, "Stefan?" I asked him. He looked down at me and said, "Yeah?" "I don't see it," I told him. "It's right there," he whispered, pointing to the far middle left of the screen. "Oh," I stated while nodding. "You don't see it, do you?" he asked me. "Nope," I admitted sadly. I felt horrible for not being able to see my own child. What kind of mother am I? "It's right there if you pay close attention," he told me. I looked further and forced myself to believe it was on the screen. Maybe it was all a mental thing, but I finally spotted it slightly. It looked like a little sesame seed, a little tadpole a bit. I couldn't help but chuckle a small smile at this. I was pretty sure Stefan did the same. Now we're going back to Stefan's perspective. Stefan: "The whole ride and waiting in the waiting room was quiet between us. I didn't know whether to make conversation or not, but I chose not to, seeing she was busy filling her application. When the nurse soon called her in, I saw how nervous she was, as if she was about to freak out soon. I soon calmed her down, instead of clamming her down. I soon saw something I've never seen before, but only that one time when I caught Catherine crying. I saw it in her eyes. She was scared, worried, terrified, and most of all, almost innocent looking. It was at that point I think Catherine's mask accidentally slipped off for a brief moment. Just a brief. I soon comforted her, all the way till we got to the ultrasound. I couldn't see it at first, but I did eventually, after, on the inside, frantically looking for it on the screen. I couldn't help but smile slightly. There she or he was, growing up into a young, responsible man or a young, smart, and beautiful daughter, depending on the sex it'll be. "Stefan?" Catherine called out. "Yeah?" I asked her, wondering why she was interrupting this moment. "I don't see it," she told me. I looked down at her and told her, "It's right there," I stated, pointing towards the little sesame seed. "Oh," she stated in a very unconvincing way, and narrowed my eyes slightly and pointed out, "You don't see it, do you?" "No?" she said both sheepishly, yet didn't find it funny. "It's right there if you pay close attention," I told her. Eventually, after a moment, I looked down at Catherine, slightly again, and saw her smile a bit. knowing she finally found it. She looked at the screen in awe, as if she was watching a wildlife nature show, and where the mother bear was keeping her cubs safe and warm during winter and nighttime, even in a hospital gown. She still managed to pull it off. I don't know why, but just seeing her wear less expensive clothing, letting her hair down, and wearing less slightly makeup than usual was just a turn on. I so badly wanted to rip that gown off, and what am I doing? I shook that thought out of my head. This is getting ridiculous. I'm not in love with Catherine. I'm not even attracted to her. Yet for some reason I couldn't contain myself when I suddenly smelled her natural chocolate scent. I pretty much forced myself to block the scent out. Okay, Stefan, we don't want to know about your fetish. Moving on to Catherine. After the ultrasound, Stefan and I ended up with 2 copies of the ultrasound's photos. One for me, one for him. I went over to Caroline's house and picked up the clothes Caroline got me. I checked them just in case. Aside from the sweaters, since I barely wear them now, I swear she did a pretty good job. The stuff in the shopping bag just matched my personality. I thanked her and drove off home only to come across a surprise guest. Aunt Jenna. Oh my god, Kathy, is that you? Jenna asked in shock. I placed my shopping bags down and rolled my eyes slightly. Aunt Jenna, long time no see, I told her before giving her a hug. Oh my god, you've grown up so much. Last time I saw you was when you were, Jenna thought over so briefly. 13, I told her. Right, 4 years. Wow, that went by fast. Tell me about it. I mumbled under my breath while slightly rolling my eyes. I see you caught up with Jenna. My mom stated the obvious. Did you plan this? I asked her slightly. Well, things have been getting a bit strained in this family. Your father's working a lot, I'm working a lot, Elena and Jeremy are busy hanging out with their friends, you're out there busy dating the popular boys. I thought we could have a moment to be a close family again. I wanted family night again. I thought Jenna could fly down here for the weekend. Won't that be fun? My mother explained to me. I politely nodded and smiled at her. This family night isn't going to end well, if my memory is clear. By the way, slight side note, that whole ultrasound thing where Catherine couldn't see the baby, but Stefan could, and he tried to showing her and things like that. Yeah, that was pretty much a Friends reference, in case you couldn't figure that out. Like, spoiler alert, with Ross and Rachel, basically, I drew inspiration, quote-unquote inspiration from that scene. Totally not plagiarized at all. Anyway, moving along, family night. No drama at the moment. It was 8:30 and time for family game night. I was in the kitchen getting drinks and snacks and ready while talking to Stefan on my phone. Really? I heard him say. Yeah, it's family game night. I don't want to ruin it. Plus my Aunt Jenna came back to town for a visit and I haven't seen her in so long and I just can't tell them, not yet, but soon, I explained to him. Alrighty then. I barely heard him say. Look, I know this doesn't seem fair, but I just want to go one night. Just one night without this whole baby drama. And wait, what did you just say? I asked him. I said, alright then. Go ahead and enjoy yourself. I'll call you tomorrow. He clarified. I nodded my head, only immediately realizing my mistake as he couldn't see my nod. I'm nodding, so thank you. And I look forward to your call tomorrow morning, I told him. Have fun, Catherine. Stefan told me. I rolled my eyes and said, I think the correct sentence is good luck, Catherine. I could sense Stefan's confusion. When I heard somebody enter the kitchen, I quickly said, I gotta go, bye, before hanging up. Quick, hide me. Your dad is making me play Pictionary, I heard Jenna say as she was trying to hide in the kitchen. So? I asked her slightly while chuckling at her melodramatic behavior. I suck at Pictionary, she told me. You sure do, I heard. You sure do, I heard my dad say out loud in the living room. Oh, bite me, Johnny. Jenna snapped at my dad while using his childhood nickname. I rolled my eyes at these two, typical siblings. So, who are you talking to? Jenna soon asked me. I froze slightly for some reason. I decided not to lie and just told her, Stefan Salvatore? She looked at me slightly and grinned. So, Stefan Salvatore, is he your boyfriend? She teased. I pretty much choked on the bottle of water I was drinking from. Stefan Salvatore, my boyfriend? Yeah, right. No, he's not. He's just, a friend. I lied slightly. Honestly, I didn't know what to call him, but I sure as hell am now referring to him as my boyfriend. Oh, come on, I've never come across a girl who was just friends with a guy before. Some dated them or at least kissed them once before in their lifetime. I was a teenager once too. I know the whole charade. Boy likes girl, girl likes boy, sex, Jenna told me. Once again, I joked on my bottle of water before. Maybe I should stop drinking now. Jenna, please, I pleaded slightly. Don't worry, I won't tell your parents about your secret boyfriend, she smiled sheepishly, before grabbing a tray full of snacks and leaving the kitchen. I rolled my eyes slightly, following her, and followed her with my tray as well, full of game snacks. Pictionary. Oh boy. Also, another side note, I've never played any of these family night games that I put on this chapter, so this is going to be great representation right here. Pictionary. It's a stick! No, it's a twig! Wait, a dildo? I heard Jeremy say in frustration. It was Elena's turn to draw something. She sucked at it. It's a thermometer, I guessed. Really? A dildo? What the heck, Jeremy? Elena exclaimed in disgust. Hey, it's better than my first guess. I thought it could be a dick, he told us. TMI, Jer. TMI, I informed them. Elena rolled her eyes and nodded at me, saying, Yeah, it's a thermometer. Dad soon calculated the score. Dad was up 32 points, Mom had 16 points, I had 14 points, Jeremy and Elena were tied by 12 points, and Jenna had about 10 points. It was soon my turn. I tried being creative. I soon started making puffy circles. Clouds, yes, there are definitely clouds, Jenna quickly suggested. I looked at her and shook my head, showing how incorrect she was. I soon drew a stick-figured girl. Underneath the circle, puffy circles, I gave the person a uniform. Ooh, a cheerleader, my mom soon guessed. I nodded but continued. I drew another figure. It was a male. Okay, some random dude, my dad suggested. I chuckled a bit but nodded. I soon continued. I drew a long oval stick next to the cheerleader with a plus sign in it. Another dildo, my Jeremy guessed. I picked up another random marker and threw it at him. Hey, he hissed. A pregnancy test, all the women in the room guessed. I nodded and continued on. I drew a large round shape over the cheerleader's stomach. So she's fat, Dad guessed. Everyone in the room glared at him and his bad guess. What? It's a guessing game, people. No need to be so sensitive about it, Dad clarified. We all soon backed off. Wait a minute. Now she's pregnant. This is getting interesting, Jenna added. I smiled slightly and continued. Last but not least, I drew two small little figures. Babies, Jeremy and Mom guessed. I nodded and stopped my drawing. Everyone looked at me in confusion on why I would draw that and what I was trying to say. Elena and Jenna soon looked at me in realization. Oh my god, they soon started. I looked at them cautiously and so did everybody else. It's 16 and pregnant, isn't it? They both shrieked out loud a bit. I sighed slightly and nodded. I was at first drawing about myself, but it did ended up turning into 16 pregnant. How ironic. But I rolled his eyes as he recalculated scores. Dad had 33 points, Mom had 18 points, Elena had 17 points, Jenna had 5 points, and Jeremy had 3 points while I still had 14. We were divided into teams. It was parents versus sister and brother versus aunt and niece. So Mom and Dad's scores combined would be 51, mine and Jeremy's would be 27, and Jenna and Elena got 32. Yep, we had the lowest scores. Womp womp womp. Moving on to the Wii. Wii! We were doing Wii sports. Elena and I played tennis. She won twice. Jeremy and I played baseball. He won the first time but lost the last. Jenna and Dad played bowling with Mom. I swear Jenna and Mom were neck to neck. Eventually Jenna won. Then it was the three siblings' turn. Jeremy won. The adults soon played golf. Dad won. Then it was the teens' turn. Elena won. Nobody dared play boxing. But it was fun seeing Jenna and Dad play Just Dance too. I rolled my eyes at these two, since they were kids and now they still were competitive. Elena and I had to tie in our turn, and Mom had beaten Jeremy at dancing. Apparently Mom had more rhythm than him. We all laughed and played and had a blast. Scrabble. That's not even a word! I shouted out in frustration to Jeremy. He had placed down the word Futurama. It is a word, he told me. I looked at him in disbelief. Use it in a sentence, I challenged him. This isn't my Futurama, Jeremy soon told me with a sound T and right. I rolled my eyes and picked up the words from the board and threw them at his face. Hey, what the hell was that for? Shouted out in anger. You know what that was for. I told him. Kids, they never grow up, Jenna commented to herself. As if on cue, Dad placed a word down, saying Quartzy. Jenna stared at my dad in horror and anger. The game had barely begun and he had already won. In frustration, Jenna flipped the whole board game over and letting the pieces fly everywhere. Out of nowhere, my dad and Aunt Jenna started to tackle each other in famous wrestling position that I've never seen before. As they did this, Mom ignored them and cleaned up the mess with Elena's help. Jeremy and I watched the whole fighting scene take place. Adults were practically the ones raising them, I commented, Jeremy, the same way Jenna did seconds ago. After nanoseconds had passed, Jeremy and I had burst out laughing at the thought of raising baby Dad and Jenna. Battleship. A1, Dad said. Jenna looked at him in shock. You sunk my fucking battleship! I rarely ever heard Aunt Jenna curse, but I heard a lot of them in this game. Twister. Whoever invented this game wasn't very bright. Elena, move! You're crushing me! I pleaded. I feared on the inside she might flatten my stomach, causing harm for my unborn baby. Move your ass! Dad informed Jenna. You're an ass! She snapped at him. I couldn't help but smile at their bickering. Hopefully my child wouldn't act that mean towards his or her future sibling. Well, if he or she has future siblings. After a while, I couldn't take it anymore. It was too suffocating. I then punched Jeremy's arm, who bumped into Mom, and from her, we all collapsed. Jenga. For the safety of too many constant swearing, I recommended skipping this game. Call of Duty. Jeremy pretty much had a mental and emotional breakdown where Jenna had beaten his score that he had spent years building up. What am I? Dirty-ish. Could have just said dirty version, but whatever. I'm red and tiny and you eat me. What am I? Jenna said with a saucy voice. Ketchup, tomato. Oh, sliced tomato, I guess. That last part's correct, Jenna told me. I'm long and hard and I'm difficult to swallow. What am I? Jeremy said teasingly. Damn, that's really dirty. I say I lump. Elena guessed. Nope, Jeremy told us. It can't be a banana. Wait, it's a cotton candy. A pickle. I wondered. Close enough. He shrugged it up. Is it a large sub? Mom guessed. See, Mom gets it. Honestly, girls aren't creative. Jeremy ranted slightly. I rolled my eyes briefly at him. I'm hot when you touch me, especially when you turn me on. I can stay up late with you all night long. What am I? Elena said, using a really good seductive voice. It almost convinced me for a moment that she might actually be hot underneath those okay outfits and wavy brown hair with a pink streak to the side. Fire? Mom guessed. No, she shook her head. Lightning? Jeremy and Jenna asked. Nope, Elena shook her head. Wait, a light bulb? Dad suggested. He was right. I'm heavy to lift and hard to roll over, and once I'm in your bedroom, it'll take a lot of dough to take me out. What am I? Mom used a surprisingly sexy voice. It shocked me for a moment. A TV? Jeremy wondered. Mom shook her head. A dresser! I guessed. Yep, Mom said, giving me a smile. It was soon my turn. I'm always on top of you whether you like it or not. I keep you cool when you're smoking hot, and when you're not looking, I might still be on. What am I? I asked using a lot of sexuality. Well, everyone was speechless and didn't know how to answer the question. I sighed and told them it was a ceiling fan. Geez, get your minds out of the gutter, guys. That night, Jenna went to stay at a motel as everyone else ended up in bed. I, however, couldn't sleep. I had my lamp near my nightstand still on. I was looking at my ultrasound photo of my baby. I smiled a bit. Is this what it feels to be an almost mother? To feel happy, excited, and proud? If it is, then I must be doing something right. If not, then I'll need mental therapy or something. Joke. Anyway, I soon picked up my phone and dialed Stefan's number. It rang 3 times until I heard Stefan say with a tired and husky voice, Hello, Catherine, are you okay? I'm fine, I just want to hear your voice, I told him sheepishly. You do realize it's 2 in the morning, right? He asked me. I had a fun time with my family. It was weird not having to worry much about our little baby drama. It felt good to just lay back and chill with no worries for one night. You would have loved it. We played Pictionary, Jenga, Battleship, Wii Sports. and Just Dance 2, Scramble, When in My Dirty Version, Call of Duty, and Twister. I told him eagerly to tell him what happened. Well, I feel tempted to play the dirty version of What Am I? Are you good at it? He asked me. Well, it's hot as hell, sassy as sass, and tan all over. I asked him. Huh? He asked me in confusion of what I meant by that. Me? I giggled. After that, we pretty much talked all night, at least until 4 a.m. So far, so good. Also, I don't know the direction to any of the games that they played in this fanfic, except maybe Scramble, since I do play it, but I don't know the board game version. Sorry. Anyway, on to the next chappy. Well, guys, I'm just gonna have to stop it there, and yeah, and call it a night. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I should continue more on this series or even extend it further on reading other fanfictions, because so far I'm still going with this one. I'm going to probably keep reading this one until the end, but you let me know if you have any other fanfics you want to recommend me to read or check out. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye guys! And stay cool.